All right, so I am going to do a little run through of the painting we're going to do. So you guys have a chance to practice, or if you want to do it in the future with another group of people, you can. And if I'm going too fast, you can look at this video for reference. Just see if it's going to be helpful. If it is, awesome. If it's not, let me know. If you want me to do more of these in the future, I would be happy to. But yeah, let's trial it out and see if it works. So you want to get your supplies. I say like a like a fat brush, and I think like a medium-sized brush and a small brush. You probably, for this painting, won't use a whole lot of the small brush, but you never know. So it's nice to have handy. And this is not a big brush. I have, I don't know if you guys have any of these, but I have a rotten child that likes to use my stuff and ruin it. So, you know, if you have one of those, hide your stuff because it will be ruined. Paint, it doesn't need to be fancy. Red, white, blue, white and black. Red, white, blue, and black. That's all we're going to use, okay? Just generic, doesn't need to be fancy stuff. For the backgrounds, I like to use an actual like wall paint roller. It makes it so you have a thin background coat, and it makes it nice and easy, even. But they just take a long time to rinse, like a normal paintbrush. So just expect that when you're going to use this, you got to wash it, and you got to wash it quick, and it's going to take a long time. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our background nice and blue. So you want to get your roller or your large brush and start from the middle and work out in all directions. All right, if you want to do the edges, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. I had a teacher tell me that you're not an artist if you don't paint the side of your canvas, but she's wrong. So you do what you do you. You do you. That's cool. And we're gonna just paint a nice happy blue here. No. When I paint, I start from the background. I always do my background first. Sometimes if you have like an area of lighter color, you don't want to touch that with a darker color, but for this one, we should be safe with an entirely blue canvas. So depending on what you're looking for, you can go over it again with a darker coat. I will probably hit the edges a little to give it a cool fade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my red, it's a very runny red, and my blue, and I'm just going to like that. Technical term, all right? Everybody, blah, 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 blah. But you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Just roll it around until you get a little something like that. Kind of like an eggplant color. And hit the edges. Just very quickly hit the edges. Like that. And to get rid of that straight line, I like to kind of roll into it a little bit. And it doesn't matter. I mean, we're going to kind of paint over that anyway. So just hit the edges so you don't have that big fat straight line. Again, this stuff is optional, so if you're like, I can't do that, don't do it. That's fine. If you want to try it, you aren't going to hurt your painting by trying something. All right? Less is more. All right? You don't need to have a big glob of paint to do something. The thicker it is, the more difficult it will be to see your colors. So try and stay light. Next, we are going to do our stars. I think we'll do that next. So instead of doing individual American flag stars, we're gonna do a little Jackson Pollock, so that it's dirty for a reason. I promise. It's really not. It just happens to be dirty, but it gives it a good effect. So you see how it just kind of spits it out there? Well, you're going to do that with the white paint, and it'll give it like a cool speckled pattern. So what can I put my white paint on? All right. Forget it. We'll just put it on here. Who cares? All right. You don't need a whole lot at all. So we'll do our stars, and then we're actually going to go right into the stripes. All right. So red, white, all the way down. Unless I decide to change it, which I might. All right. So we have a little bit. Actually, I think that's kind of a lot. So we'll get it. So it's a little bit wet. So I have my water here. All right. And you kind of give it a little test here. And it's going to get a little messy here, folks. So try not to be too crazy. Just going to do a little of that. Ready? We're going to get in that top left corner. And we're making some stars, y'all. Bam. Look at that. All right. You can use your paper towel, wipe your finger off. If you want to have different kinds of stars, you can take a wet brush, get it wet, kind of do a little spot so it's not dripping, all right? And then you could bang it on the back of your hand. It might give you kind of some lines and some shooting stars, but that's cool. Who doesn't like shooting stars? It's like magic, isn't it? All right, and then we're gonna get the tip of our brush and just do different size dots. All right, boom, 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 boom. All right. And that is beautiful. Look at that. All right, and you could do that as much or as little as you want. So, where's your brush out? Your medium-sized brush, I should say. And we're gonna do our white stripes, okay? And you don't need a ruler, all right? Straight lines. They come from your shoulder. You don't want to come from your wrist. You can from your elbow, but you really should. It comes from your wrist. It's that big fluid movement. So you're gonna just, and this is not a perfect. You don't need it to be perfect. So just going down. And making your stripes. So now to get this kind of like unfinished edge here, I start at this end and I just kind of let it trail off. And it gives it like this cool, I don't know, not hard edge. And if you want it to be a little bit more rustic looking or tattered looking, then you could do that. Otherwise, if you're like, I want it to be super straight, you can just lay your brush on the canvas and work out. And that looks nice too. So whatever you want. So just for uniform's sake, we're going to do it all the same. If you get little drips, catch them and just bring them across again. All right, so from your shoulder all the way across. And then you can just go back the other direction, boom. And we have our white stripes. Kind of looking like a flag-ish. We're getting there. Okay. So then the very last thing we're going to do is the red stripes. And the reason I'm doing the red stripes last is because when you do red, it tends to take over everything. Red is a primary color. Blue is a primary color, but red is a little bit more, I don't know, invasive, I guess, to other colors. So it would be hard to get, especially with white. You would have pink stripes if you did the red first. So pretty light, coming down with the red, filling in the gaps. And I used a very runny paint, so yours probably will not do that. But I was trying something different. back and forth. Doesn't need to be perfect. That's my dog. I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's clearly dying of thirst. Somebody send a vet ambulance for him because he's dying. All right. Now we're going to do like our forest scape down here. So don't get too crazy about these stripes. It doesn't matter. And our flag is done. I don't know if you could see that. I got this like strung up on a canvas. I don't know if you can see, but it's super ratchet and just how I like it. So there you go. Now we're gonna do our trees. Black, or you can mix blue and purple to give you like a dark violet. I'm gonna do that. So you can kind of see what it looks like. So you're like, I don't want purple, but it should hopefully look nice. And once you use black, it's really hard to go lighter. So if you do like a violet, you can always go darker if you don't like that color. You can always do the black then. So we can mix it with our mixer, with our paintbrush, with our whatever. And I lied. This looks dumb. So we're going to do black. Forget what I said. Hold on while I do this. Alright, you don't need a whole lot. And then, oh God, y'all shake your paint before you pour it out because you're going to get that gross clear stuff and it's not nice. Alright, square brush. Alright, these are good for trees. And I'm going to try and show you on something else on the back of this canvas. So you can kind of see how to do a little tree. So little point here at the top. And then horizontal little squiggles all the way down. All right, get you some more paint. There's a pine tree. And you can do another pine tree. That's a little fatter. Give it a pokey Christmas tree top. Another way you can do it that I learned from Bob Ross is do a line, follow that line away. You're going to make some branches. All right, so there's your tree. And then some leaves if you want. There's one tree. All right, we can do a willow. Start at the top, go down, big fat trunk with some cool roots. All right, and then they always have these like big fat bifurcations in their branches. And at the end is where they kind of willow out. And you could do some like pretty tendrils or whatever. All right, and for this one, I'm just gonna do evergreens all the way across, and it's a silhouette, so we're just gonna do the shadows, like the sun is directly behind, like it's a setting sun, and the sun is behind these trees, so you just see these shadows. If the sun was over here, then you would have nice beautiful green trees and all that stuff, but the sun's going to be behind. So all we need to do is shadows. All right, so you can kind of see that you get the drift. So I will start right here. Why not? All right, we're going to do kind of like a redwood. Let's do that, where they have big trunks down here. Okay, and then we can do an evergreen. Those are easy. And I'll probably do a series of bigger trees, and then I'll fill in the other ones with smaller trees. Another kind of evergreen. I don't know what it's called, but the branches swoop down and they don't stick out to the side like this guy. So it's more traditional Christmas tree. Let's see. And we'll do a little guy here. All the way down. Boom. And let's do another Christmas tree. Because it's hot and I'm thinking about being cold. Okay, so now if you want to do some regular trees, you can do the up and out method where you do like the trunk and all that, all the branches first. And just at the edge where those branches are ending, give them some leaves. You don't want all your trees to be the same height, so you can also do some like little baby guys down here. It'll look more natural if you have an uneven or if you have uneven heights. Let's see here. We can do another tree, another big tree with actual leaves. I don't know, like a maple or something. And you do the leaves first. All right, so you got your big bunch of leaves, and then that's it. Easy peasy. I think just for fun, I'm gonna do a person, just to kind of show you how I do people. So I do a tiny little circle, way down low, and a straight line. All right, turn your brush sideways, arms, and then V off the legs. Boom. Try and make that head round. Just think about drawing like a dum-dum. And then you could add arms and legs and thicken up the lollipop stick. And then you have a person. Not difficult. Okay, so we're going to make it look natural by having a tree run off the side. All right, so kind of looks like there's an actual tree hanging out over here instead of just here's our 7 trees. You want it to be continuous, like there's an actual forestscape. If you wanted it to look like mountains in the background, we can do that. Just let me know, or I can do that in another tutorial. That is just lighter background, so like a white, a gray, and a black, and it almost is like stacked on top of each other, and it gives an illusion of depth. So we can do that, and we could add that into this painting, or do that separate if you'd prefer. If you want to finish this guy out by making your stars more pronounced, go back in with your small brush, grab your white, just a little bit right here, and just kind of let your arm move and take it where it's going to go. Alright, you can even take it out into the sides here. Alright, you can do a moon maybe. I like the Seeds for Cookie Moon the best. Reminds me of Cookie Monster. But you can do whatever moon you want. There you go. Okay, so this is the painting we're going to do at the reunion. And if you want me to continue with these tutorials, let me know. We can do more complicated ones. We can go over steps from this one, whatever you want. If you're like, this is dumb, I don't want to do this anymore, then don't watch this video because you're mean. Anywho, I look forward to seeing you guys. I do have some extra canvases, and I will have paint and everything, and like water and supplies. If you do want a canvas from me, I have larger ones and smaller ones here, so 12 by 16 and 16 by 20s. 16 by 20s I'll charge $10 for, and the 12 by 16s will be $5. And then $5 to paint in general. Should be like half an hour. Bring drinks of your choice. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.